Hi, welcome to the 2019 Gallup Learning Series. My name is Micah Librant, and on behalf of our learning team, thank you for joining us today. I hope you've joined this and enjoyed this week of learning offered exclusively for you, our Gallup certified strengths coaches. Today, we get to celebrate a bit as we are wrapping up our series by focusing on additional ways you can continue to grow as a Clifton Strengths coach. In fact, before the show, I had a moment where I kind of forgot what was happening. And I asked Jim Collison, what are we doing today? And he said, oh, no big deal. We're just talking about the whole future. So you're in for great things today. We really have a huge mission here to live out. That is helping people expand their understanding of their best selves, helping open up possibility and help them realize that there is so much more beyond their current best. Today, we'll help you do that by referring to page 12 in your participant guide. Just a few key logistics. Today's session will be recorded so that you can catch it a second time if you want to reference this session again in the future. And of course, all week long, we've been mentioning that the session has been approved by ICF for Resource Development CCE training hours. Don't worry, I'll provide all the information you need about that at the close of our session today. I'd love to hear your questions. You've got a whole bunch of folks on the line here who truly care about being present with you. So bring those questions through the chat feature on your screen. If perhaps today's the first live session that you've joined, one tip on that chat is it's great to hover across the top and make sure you are on live chat instead of top chat. We'll be following along as we go and would love for you to submit your questions throughout that session. Joining me today are some fantastic guests. Dean Jones is our global talent development architect, and his top 5 are activator, focus, woo, strategic, and relator. As in his role as global global talent development architect. All I can think is how you usually say it. It means ta-da. And that's what's competing there in my brain today. In this great role, Dean is involved in the strategy and planning of our learning offerings and our programming for the Gallup Certified Coaches community. You've probably seen him before because he's a frequent and very popular guest on Called to Coach. Many of you have heard him speak at the Clifton Strengths Summit as well. Dean comes to us bringing more than 20 years of executive experience in management, sales, and marketing. We also are joined today by Abby Goranson. She's our event specialist. Her top 5 are achiever, responsibility, positivity, individualization, and discipline. Abby's the event director for our Clifton Strengths Summit, and she's here today to share with us a few highlights for you and some insider information about the upcoming summit. Our third guest probably needs no introduction, but if I were to give him one, it might sound like this. Hey, it's Jim Collison and live from the Gallup Studios in Omaha, Nebraska. Jim's top 5 are arranger, woo, communication, maximizer, and activator. And he uses those top 5 to really crush it as the director of talent sourcing and the Clifton Strengths community manager. He's the host of Called to Coach. And in addition to everything Jim does within the coaching community, he's also the director of talent sourcing at Gallup's office in Omaha. As a technology manager, he oversees the development and implementation of Gallup's high school and college internship programs. Thanks so much for joining us today. And I'm going to turn it over first to our fantastic panel. Dean, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Today's session really is about upcoming opportunities and particularly upcoming development opportunities. I think there's just so much that we're doing anymore, and there's so much that we're doing for coaches in general and specifically for certified coaches. So there's just lots of great opportunities for development. As I was thinking about this session, one of the things I've been doing a lot of reading about lately is learning readiness and thinking about, like, when is somebody ready to learn? I think as people that are involved in developing other human beings, right? Part of what you're always trying to work from is gauging, as you work with folks, gauging their readiness. What are they ready for? And what are they ready for from a coaching standpoint? What are they ready for a training and development standpoint? And I think, part of that is gauging our own kind of learning readiness. And there's times it started actually about 15 minutes ago. This session, it feels like started 15 minutes ago. Jennifer started chatting with us about, hey, what's next, right? And I think for all of us, I think we start to gauge that kind of like, when you're ready for what's next from a development development standpoint. You know, when it's like, hey, I've chewed on the stuff that I've been given. I know what I've got. And we know one of the themes that came up this week is we know that there's just a ton of material that you've already got in your hands. So the kits that you got in the accelerated course, and I know many of you are still going through those kits and unpacking those and using all the tools that are in those kits. So, but I think there is a point you get to where you would say, gosh, I'm ready for what's next. And I'm ready for the next layer of development. And I think it's thinking about what's the right thing for you. We're going to talk about a bunch of things today. So we're going to talk about some learning, some kind of formal learning opportunities that we've got out there. We're going to talk about the summit today. Super excited about the summit. This is going to be, I think, you know, I know that it almost sounds like a cliche, but this is, I think, going to be our best year. And there's so much cool stuff that Abby is going to talk about today. I'm super excited about that. Jim's going to talk about some of the coaching opportunities and the kind of peer learning and social learning kind of opportunities that are out there as well. So I just think there's lots of opportunities today to really think about it. The ones that I wanted to mention, and it sounds funny, I wasn't going to make a big deal out of it. And then, so earlier this week, I guess was it yesterday or Wednesday, I held up this booklet from the advanced course, right? And people went nuts and they were like, I didn't get that in my accelerated course. And, you know, and I realized like, no. You're like, one is we just need to clarify for people what this is and where it came from. So to get certified, probably the vehicle that most of you all use to get certified as your education toward becoming a Gallup certified strengths coach was the accelerated strengths coaching course. That's our 4.5-day course. One of the things that we launched, and we actually launched it sort of in an iterative process over the last 3 to 4 years, was something that we call the advanced strengths coaching course. And it's really designed to be one, not the only offering that comes next, but one of the offerings that comes next for people after they've completed the accelerated strengths coaching course. And one of the tools that we give people, there's a bunch of tools that people get in that course, but one of the tools we give them in this course is this little booklet. And the core of the course is a super interesting course. The core of the course really is built around 7 developmental milestones. So 7 milestones that we would say, as somebody starts to master strengths, we would say that along the way that there's sort of these 7 developmental milestones, and they're not linear. You know, in some cases, what happens is you visit one, and then at some point you go back and visit it again. But there's these 7 things that, if as a coach, one of the reasons it's so valuable is as a coach, when you recognize that somebody's at one of those developmental mile markers or developmental milestones, it gives you a lot of clarity about how to coach them. Right? It gives you clarity about what is the work to be done. It also, one of the things we've done, and we did this by working with a lot of our super seasoned coaches, is to really look at what are the pitfalls associated with each one of those developmental milestones. So it's super valuable. The thing that I love about this course, and I'll talk more about the course, but one of the things I really love about the course is it's one of those courses that it's interesting when you're in the course, and like as you start to use the material from it, it's like it gets more and more and more valuable for people. I led the course, I think it was the year before last. I led one of the courses that we did, one of the courses at the summit about this. One of the things that I was getting emails and LinkedIn messages for probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 months afterwards with people saying, man, that was good. But then what I really started to notice is it shifted my coaching. It shifted the way I think in my coaching. And I noticed that I coach from a different place. I hear different things than I heard before. And I've got a kind of clarity that I didn't have before. So it's just a useful way. These developmental milestones are just a useful coaching construct to help you as a practitioner be really effective in gauging where is somebody in their development around Clifton strengths, and how do you help people kind of move to the next level. The other thing we include in the course, and we did this, we kind of piloted some of this material at the summit. I want to say it was like 4 or 5 years ago, right? 4 years ago, maybe. It was something where we had just started working with this material and wanted to kind of try it out for some people. And sometimes we do that at the summit where we kind of take it out for a spin. And so we kind of tried it on some folks. Part of the feedback we got from people that participated was, hey, it would be great if you also included coaching skills in it. So one of the things that we also include in the course are 7 kind of fundamental coaching skills. Now, if you've done other kind of coaching courses, these may be redundant for you. And so I want to make sure that I don't kind of oversell it. But for many of our coaches who've been trained in a different discipline, right? They're coming out of HR, they're coming out of a different kind of discipline. These are really valuable. And it may be your first introduction to these fundamental kind of coaching skills. So it's part of what makes this advanced coaching course super valuable. It's 3 days long. And it's, I will tell you, it's a really, 2 days long, super robust 2 days. Pretty intense. I saw Michael was about to say, no, Dean, you got that wrong.
No, I was like, sweet. I thought it was 2. I'm totally in for 3.
No, exactly. I wish. It's 2 days long. I do know that we are offering it. If you go to courses.gallup.com, you can see the times we're offering it. We are offering it at the summit. And that's a great time to do it, I think, because not to oversell, and Abby will talk all about this, but the course, when you're doing it with other kind of participants at the summit, it's super, super valuable. Anyhow, this is one of the tools. It has this is like a subset of those developmental milestones. I think it's super important. I think it's a really cool thing for people as they, after they've kind of gotten to a certain level of integrating what they've learned in the accelerated course, they're at a certain level of kind of mastering strengths. I think that's super. It's a very useful course for people.
Hey, Dean, so there's a question in the chat that might be perfect around that. Linda says, hey, do you recommend this course for new coaches? I got my certification last year. Could you just talk a little bit about the difference between the advanced coaching course and the accelerated course, and maybe the readiness aspect of it? How do you know you're ready for that advanced course?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. The accelerated course is really designed to give people all the kind of fundamentals of coaching strengths. So many of you, if you did the accelerated course, or you did SSC plus CIMT, the Successful Strengths Coaching plus coaching individuals, managers, and teams, you've gotten all that. But it's all really designed to kind of give you the fundamentals. And as much time, whether it's 4.5 or 5 days that you spend in those courses, that there's a lot more that we could do. Where the material came from in the advanced strengths coaching course was it really, before we started building our strengths coaching curriculum, we did a series of conversations with our most seasoned strengths coaches, those folks who had been around for a long time, had coached lots of people in strengths, and we asked them to start to talk us through what the kind of developmental journey was for somebody with regard to strengths, from their very first exposure to strengths to what we would call kind of strengths mastery. And we made a decision that rather than trying to teach that developmental journey in the accelerated course, it would kind of sit behind the course, right? And kind of inform the way we thought about the course. And one of the things, like for many people, when they do the advanced strengths coaching course, you kind of see where name it, claim it, aim it came from a developmental standpoint. So it's kind of, I always think about it like kind of the master's degree in strengths coaching, right? So it builds on everything that you learned in the accelerated course, but it goes deeper. It's really designed for practitioners. So it's really designed for people that on a regular basis are working around people's development, whether you're doing that as an independent coach or whether you're doing that as an HR or OD professional that works with leaders at all levels in organizations. So that's sort of the intent behind it, right? So anyhow, so that's available. I want to make sure you know about that. The other thing that is available, and we've talked to many of you about, is the Clifton Strengths Discovery Train the Trainer course. And so if you're somebody that as a coach or as a professional, development professional, if you find yourself leading strength sessions a lot, and you want a really reliable curriculum for being able to do this, this might be an opportunity for you. We, as many of you know, our kind of flagship strengths course is called Clifton Strengths Discovery. We've been leading it literally for decades. We have invested over the last 3-4 years, we've invested a lot of time and energy in really perfecting it. And we launched a version of it about a year and a half ago that just took off like a rocket. It was probably, we really looked at all the best practices for the last really 2 decades that we had around delivering this course and what made it really effective for folks. Then we did sort of a reassessment of it all last year. So we did a lot of research around what was working, how could we make the course tighter, how could we make sure it really delivered for people, how do we make it really interactive for people. So we redesigned the course again last year, and launched it again. We're going to be offering it this summer at the summit. And we're, as part of that, we're also incorporating all the new material on Clifton Strengths 34. So it's a great course to take. It's a 3-day course. It's also includes you go through the whole Clifton Strengths Discovery. Then we kind of lift the curtain and talk about, okay, how do you actually lead this in order to be effective? You get access to the facilitator guide. You get access to being able to buy the materials. So when you go deliver it, you've got the materials to deliver it with. I think we do just an absolute phenomenal job of teaching people about how to be a great course leader in front of the room. And some of the fundamentals of what it is to be a great course leader in front of the room, I think is super, super important there. I want to make sure you know that we also have, if you've done the course and completed the course before, we also have a reviewer tuition. So if you have done the course, if you've done a course before with us, and you want to go back and do it again. And so many people will say, hey, you know what? I love that course so much. I want to sit through it again and master the material. There's a discounted reviewer rate that you can go back and redo a course that you've done before. It's a third of the price to do it the first time. If you're interested in that, just send us an email. Jim and Micah can tell you about that. But if that's something you're interested in, so if you, for instance, did the Clifton Strengths Discovery Train the Trainer, you want to go back and review it again, or the advanced course for that matter, this is a great way to be able to do that. Right? So coaching@gallup.com, right? I want to talk about 2 other things that are out there. I know I always tell Jim I'm not going to take the full time, and then I usually go over. Okay. So there's 2 other things that I think are super useful, right? So one is the Clifton Strengths Team Activity Guide. This guide, man, I tell you, it just took off like a rocket last year. So this is a guide. Yeah, exactly. Everybody hold up your guides, right? So this guide really took off like a rocket last year. We built it in response to feedback we got from people. Jim said at one point, if I had $1 for every time somebody said, hey, I need some great team activities, right? I'd be a millionaire. So it just like on Facebook, in social media, I mean, just over and over and over again, we were getting tons of feedback. Hey, we just want great team activities. So we took 40 activities that we considered really great, time-tested, surefire team activities and put them in this guide. The guide sells for $99. It's on shop.gallup.com. It's super useful. I will tell you, sometimes a couple people have bought it and said, there's like 2 activities. I think, Micah, you're better at this than me, but there's 2 activities where you need additional materials. You need to buy a card deck if you're going to do the activity. Most of the activities, the way the guide is sort of set up is, let me see if I can get to a page, is the activity and the instructions for the activities on one side of the page. And then there's a worksheet on the right-hand side of the page that you can just photocopy and hand out, right? And use in your sessions, right? So great guide, super, super valuable. Here's where I think it's really valuable. I think it's valuable for you as a strengths coach. The other place is, man, I'm telling you, this is a great guide for managers. So for managers, so if you work with managers and organizations and they are really looking for team activities, this guide is a great guide to get for every one of your managers so that they're super useful. And so that's a tool. It's that is reasonably priced And man, that it just will pay returns all the time. So last thing I want to talk about today before I hand it over to Abby to talk about the summit is one of the things, if you were in the series all week, if you watched, there was a great session on Monday with Jackie Merritt talking about the new Clifton Strengths 34 report. And the first half of the session was just really a deep dive into that report. And if you've been in the report, spent time in the report, you know that report is probably the most robust tool we could make available for strengths. People just love that report, and there's just so much in that report to unpack. We laugh about page 21. Everybody loves that page 21, where it just kind of lays out all your themes, and there's the bar graph, so you can really get a sense of your themes and the kind of the domain that you lead with, and it's just super valuable. So one of the things we had been getting questions about was, hey, as a coach, how can I maximize my use of this report? Jackie did about the second half hour of Monday's session was on coaching the new report. And we decided that what we're going to do is we're going to do a special limited series around coaching the new 34 report. It's just going to be for coaches. We don't have a lot of details in it. We've been calling it Digging Deeper on Clifton Strengths 34. It'll be 3 sessions. It'll be an online course. Okay, so we're going to conduct it via Zoom. There's also going to be limited registration for it. So we can't, it's just one of those things. We'll probably record the sessions, and if there's enough demand, we might rerun it, but there's going to be limited registration for it. We also will announce it to the certified coaches first. So you guys will get first crack at registering for it, and we'll have a discounted rate for the certified coaches. So another reason to make sure that you're certified. So we'll give you guys kind of a head start around this. Jennifer, this one's for you, right? But it's going to be 3 sessions. We think it'll be 3 really super robust hours talking about the report and specifically how do you leverage the report in the coaching work that you do. So, and it's really just designed, this is a go deep kind of session for people around that. So we're really excited about this, as you can tell. We think it's going to be a really cool learning opportunity. You don't have to travel for it. It's, so we think it'll be, but it is something that you'll want to get registered for. If you're interested, you'll want to get registered for it quickly because it will sell out. I know people are going to ask, okay, well, how do I find out about it? Watch that coach's newsletter. So the first place we're going to go with it, Jim will probably talk about it, but with the first place we'll go is the certified coaches newsletter on that. So be sure to watch the newsletter for that. And so watch the newsletter for that, because we'll announce all the details around it when we're ready to go. That'll be this spring. Okay. So just want to make sure you guys know that's coming and like that. So let me just stop there. I'm going to hand it over to Abby to talk about the summit. More great learning opportunities there.
Yes. Thanks, Dean. I'm really excited that I get to join you guys today and talk about the summit. I'm really excited for 2019. Last year, we had over 1,500 attendees come from 31 different countries, and we had 49 states represented. And we're expecting even more this year. So we're excited to get more people here to Omaha. And I know we've got great feedback from the learning series this week. And really, if you've never attended the summit, it's basically the learning series ramped up. So more learning content, plus personal relationships. With 1,500 people coming from all over the world, we really have every industry there. We have every type of coach there. And we really have people that all have experienced something to learn from. So why else would you come to the summit? Well, we, like Dean was saying, have content that is exclusive just to the summit. So last year, the event ended in July, and since then, we've been working on all the sessions. And I will let you guys know, we were supposed to release the sessions on our website, but we have held those till this learning series to share with you guys first, just because we value you guys as certified coaches and really wanted you to be the first one to know. And I'm going to go through those here in a little bit, but I just wanted to do a quick overview for everyone on what we're all working on planning. I've been a part of different companies before joining Gallup, and one of the things that makes this event so different than other events from other companies is, as soon as we get done with the event, we read through every single survey and every comment made and take each one of those comments into our planning committee and how we plan for the future. So if you have attended, you personally, and taking that survey, you have personally shaped this event. And this is the 4th year that we are doing it. And it is going to be the best year ever because this is the most data we've had to make it tailored to each one of you. So one of the things that is exclusive to Summit, Dean was just talking about the amazing courses we have. Well, if you attend the Summit, they are discounted at 10%. But I do want to go through the logistics of that because in order to get that 10% discount, you cannot register on courses.gallup.com. You have to register by going to www.cliftonstrengthsummit.com and you add on the courses while you're registering for the Summit. There's been a little bit of confusion around that with trying to register for the same dates. We do open it to the public, those courses before and after the Summit, but they do not get the discount. So if you want that 10% discount, do register at www.cliftonstrengthsummit.com. We are offering the accelerated strengths coaching, advanced strengths coaching, Clifton Strengths Discovery Day, Clifton Strengths Train the Trainer, coaching builder talents, coaching individuals, managers, or teams, creating an engaging workplace for engagement champions, employing top talent, and even a few more. So I'm not going to list all of them, but I try to list the biggest chunk. If you can't be here for a course and just want to do an introductory to some of the Gallup research, we also have the How Millennials Want to Work and Live workshop going on. And I'm going to announce to you guys first that this year, we've never done this before, but we also are offering in-person coaching sessions with our team. And I'm going to dig in this a little bit later, but that is new for this next year that we only have 50 spots available that we're announcing here first. Dean touched a little bit about certification and recertification, and he talked about the advanced strengths coaching. And I wanted to touch on why the accelerated strengths coaching at the Summit is so unique and different just at the Summit is as a part of that, we actually take you through certification at the very end. So you don't have to take the course and then come back later. We make it very easy for you to get certified by just making it a part of the time you're here in Omaha with us. One of the other notes of the Summit, let's say you take a course at the beginning. We also offer many of the courses after, so you can get the most out of your flights and your hotels here to Omaha. I'm going to now skip down and talk a little bit more into the certification. So let's say you haven't had the opportunity to get certified. We will do that in person for free here in Omaha before and after the Summit. And if your certification is going to be due here the next year or so, we'll also have recertification options as well. And those are free to Summit attendees. So what are the things that are different? I want to first jump into those in-person coaching sessions. So like I said, we have 50 sessions that are now available. They went live as soon as this call had started, and they are $195 on Monday, June 3rd. When you go through the Summit registration, you'll log in as you're registering, or if you've already registered, you'll go into the registration page and just select already registered, and you can log in. And at the very bottom of the courses of the session courses page that you could add on those courses to your agenda, there's the option to select a time slot for this coaching call. It's 45 minutes, and these usually happen over the phone, but for Summit attendees only, we're offering these in person to enhance the experience. And it's really a lot more impactful being able to sit across from your coach and have this discussion rather than on the phone. So that is my biggest news that I'm so excited to share with you guys first. The other things that we're doing this year is we are repeating the Riverfront Run, but we're also adding a fitness class. We got great feedback adding these sessions on for additional networking. Not everybody feels the most comfortable in a suit and tie or a dress during our reception. So we want to offer these unique experiences to kind of get everyone out of their shell for additional networking, because that's really the core of this event is those personal relationships that you get to make here at the event. Another thing that we are doing is we went to the zoo last year, which Omaha has one of the top ranked zoos in the world. This year, we have heard that our Summit attendees take over downtown Omaha. Everybody hears, oh yeah, those Summit attendees, we ran into them at this restaurant. And so we got the idea, why not make it even into a bigger party? So we're kind of taking over downtown. We're going to have a huge block party with food and drinks and live music. So another opportunity to network outside of the normal business room. I know, Dean, you're all excited about that one.
I am very excited. That's great.
The next thing that I wanted to announce is we have held our breakout sessions very tight, closed-lipped until this point. And again, we've kind of held them just because we wanted to announce them here on the learning series first. We will have 56 breakout sessions. Some attendees, you'll get to select 6 because we have 6 breakout time slots, but you do get access to all 56 presentations and resources. We have been working on the content and the agenda since the summit concluded. And I just wanted to run through a few of our sessions. So Dean is going to be leading 2 sessions. He's going to be leading designing great strengths trainings. And then he's also teaming up with Jeremy Petrosini for moving from boss to coach. 2 outstanding presentations that once we get these online, I recommend logging in immediately because Dean's sessions are always the first to max out. Micah is also teaming up with us and leading 2 sessions. She's, again, leading at her very popular Bringing Tools to Life, all around using your Gallup coaching kit. And she's also leading Understanding Clifton Strengths themes. These were, she does a great job. She also sells out very quickly. Last year, we tried to move her to the end so we could get more people as a part of our session. So note that you do have to pre-register. We do cap out the rooms just because of fire code. So once you have them live, it is important. It is first come, first serve. Some of the other sessions we have strengths for leader and manager development. Another session, what the best do differently, building a strengths-based culture. We have one around team sessions called Going Off the Grid, leading team sessions beyond the team diagram. We have coaching teams for performance. We have 4 characteristics of excellent course leaders. And then with the new 34 report coming out this year, we made sure to have a breakout session around how to use this 34 report, knowing your whole self, learning how to position this report with your coaching. So that is also slated to be a very popular session. One of our good friends here at Gallup, Murray Guest, is presenting Sustaining a Strengths-Based Culture game show, where he's going to do a Jeopardy-style breakout and talk about, he's going to teach 8 creative methods for sustaining a strengths-based culture. So I'm super excited just around a unique breakout style presentation. And then one of the other ones that I'm proud of is Allegiant and Ball State University are presenting about their partnership on how they use games to improve the training in both corporate and educational environments. So we have kind of a full spectrum of sessions that cover many topics that you can apply to many different situations, not only in your personal life, but in your business. One of the things that on the last 3 years, like I said, this is the 4th one. Every year we've gotten a request to do more about what is new at Gallup. So we will have a specific breakout session that is going to talk about what is new and upcoming with not only our technology, our learning, and our research. And we have dedicated space we call the Innovation Lab, in which we will have our Gallup team here showing you all the things that are new and upcoming. And being a part of the summit, not only do you get to see these, but you get to impact the future. So we are planning on getting your feedback, your expertise, what do you like, what don't you like? And that you will really shape what we do over this next year and beyond. So that's one cool thing, is you really are not only learning, but impacting Gallup and what we do. One thing that I want to note is, like I said, in order to get the discounts, you have to register via Clifton Strength Summit online. And as a certified coach, you guys get $100 off of your registration fees. So if you use certified coach, it's one word, all caps. You get a $100 discount. Be sure to use the link in your participant guide, because the more people that we have register via that link, the more discounts and offerings we're able to give you in the future. So make sure you use that link and to get your discount. So we have the 10% discount, we have your $100 discount, and one of the other discounts to take advantage of is by coming to the Clifton Strength Summit. If you're attending a course, you're attending the summit, we have opportunity for you to network with our team and get future discounts on coaches. And we also have discounts in our summit store for our Gallup tools, our Gallup products, and exclusive swag that we only sell at the summit. So those are just a few of the highlights. I ran through them pretty quickly, but I'm just so excited about what we have all in store for our 1,500 friends that are coming to Omaha here in June.
Abby,
Friends,
you had said
I was going to say, if you've never seen positivity and discipline together in one human being, it is Abby. I mean, you are so just a pleasure to work with because I know you've got it all nailed down. And at the same time, I just wanted to join whatever came out of your mouth. So thank you.
Thanks, Micah.
Abby, you had said 10% discount for certified coaches for courses. I think we'd misprinted maybe 15 on the flyer that's in the guide. 10% is correct, and I think those prices are updated correctly on the website. Is that correct?
Yes, on the website, everything is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
In English only for all those courses, Dean?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yep. And that in your guide is the certified coach. That word is in your guide to put in there to be able to get the discount. So that's available for you as well. Anything else? Any other questions we missed on that, Micah?
There's just a question. I think there's a little bit of breakout FOMO happening here. Can we clarify? You get to go to 6 breakouts, but we get to see the rest of it. How does that happen?
Yes. So you get to attend 6 breakout sessions, but we will make available all the presentations, and we may be offering a new way to view the sessions this year. We look to announce that a little bit later to our attendees, but you will have access to all the presentations of all 56.
And Abby, if they wanted to purchase that coaching that's available to them at the summit, what's the right way to do that?
It is live. So right now, if you have not registered for the summit, what you would do is you would go to cliftonstrengthsummit.com and register. And during registration, I think it's the second step where you select your items at the very bottom, there are the coaching session options, and they're listed by time. If you've already registered, you will go to the registration page, and there's a link that says already registered. You'll sign in with your first name, last name, email, and confirmation number, which you can either resend to you or view in your confirmation email. And you will just select the modify registration button at the very top left of your registration page, and you'll go through like you're registering and see these sessions at the bottom.
And those are open to everybody. The breakout sessions are open to anybody who's registered, not just certified coaches, correct?
Yes. These now are all the breakout sessions are not live yet. We are waiting to announce. We waited to announce them, and they'll probably be announced that they're live in our coaching newsletter first. So we'll send that out in the coaching newsletter. I just wanted to announce a few of them here first. The only thing that are live right now are the in-person coaching sessions.
Perfect. And I think what's important there is you need to read your newsletter coming out here very, very quickly. Watch your email for it. Dean, some questions for you on the advanced English only. And is it beyond the summit? Are we going to offer any advanced coaches course?
So yeah, on the advanced course, I'm going to give you a kind of 2 answers on this. So right now it's English only, right? So the course is English only, and we offer it around the summit because that's usually when we get the biggest uptake on it. We honestly have tried. We do a couple international courses. We've tried to kind of figure out where the right locations are to have those where we can maximize folks. I'm going to tell you that if you've got a group of coaches, like if you at your meetups, your coach meetups that you have, if you decide, hey, look, we'd all like to do the advanced coaching course, we're happy to put a course in your city. So just let us know. Use coaching at Gallup.com to let us know. We've opened the course in different places, and we just didn't have a critical mass of coaches to be able to fill it. So and we're willing to kind of do it wherever. Right. So you just need to let us know around that. It's somebody just asked, great question, Linda. What about online? We haven't adapted it for online, but gosh, it seems like that's something that we would be doing in the future. Right. And so right now it's instructor led only, just by the nature of the work that we do in the course.
I think the key to all that is the address you gave. So coaching at Gallup.com. We try to just give you so much information, and there's a lot of questions. Send us an email, coaching at Gallup.com. That will get routed to the right person. We have a great team behind that now. They answer them very, very fast, and we'll get those routed to the right person. Micah, anything else before I get started?
Just that what Abby noted about taking data pretty seriously. So don't feel like you're left out or like the door's closed. If you've got feedback on locations or ways that you'd like to participate, we're not going to promise it, but we do want to know so that we can take that into consideration.
Yeah, sounds good. Are we okay? Can I kick this off?
Go for it, Jim. What do you have to say?
You are going to want to buckle up for this one. I got a lot of stuff to tell you. You guys ready? Hey, we appreciate we appreciate you, and we appreciate the fact that you are certified and recertify each year. And we want to be really, really clear about some of the benefits that are associated with recertification. Recertification is every 2 years. I get that question a lot. We have a lot of information on our courses page about that. But if you have questions, like you're getting close, some people like a year away is getting close. But if you're getting close and you have any questions about recertification, send us an email, certification@gallup.com. We try not to make that too hard to remember. I still let a lot of people know about that, but certification@gallup.com. And we'll get that information back to you to tell you where you're at in the process or what's holding things up or what have you. But there are some amazing benefits that are available to you. We know that you're not using all of them because we track many of them. We know the learning series is one of those benefits. Dean and I and the team, Angela, have put this on for 5 years now. The first video that we did this session has done 1,100 views so far. But we know there's 6,000 certified coaches. So we know not all coaches are taking advantage of watching this or the availability to it. So don't forget, you've got this tremendous access to the learning series that's available. We have 2018, 2017, 16, 15. Those are available as well. I'll post those in the Certified Coaches Facebook group, by the way. We have a certified group just for you. It's closed. It's secret. You can't find it. If you think you found it and you're on it, it's probably not the right one. The right way to do that is send me an email, jim_collison@gallup.com, or the certification address works as well. And just request access. We'll send you a private invite for it, and you can jump in there and get that. I have been listing all these services, all these sessions in there, as well as we'll post the back sessions. So you can go back and watch those as well if you want. Remember, right now, there's no cost to recertify. So it's absolutely zero. You can get recertified and get it done. Micah, the exam, not terribly difficult, right? You're the exam queen for certification and recert, right? Everybody can do that, right? Micah?
Everybody who studies, yeah.
Okay, good. Yes. There we go. Very good. Don't forget, we have a brand new annual discount available for you. The 2019 on codes, the 2019 discount on codes. This last year, when we started pulling the numbers on it, we just realized not enough coaches were taking advantage of the discount they had available. And we actually had one of our really, really bright software engineers, our architects, say, hey, why don't we do this a little bit different? Let's just give them $10 off all three kinds of codes, right? Top 5, upgrade, Clifton Strengths 34. And we all looked at each other and went, why didn't we think of that? And so for 2019, we've switched that over. It's available automatically to you at checkout, just like it was last year. If you go to the site and go to the store there, that's available, GallupStrengthCenter.com. And on purchase, get all the way through. You should see it at the very end. If you don't, give us a call. Give our customer service a call. Send us an email. We would love to help you get that fixed. For most people, it's just available there. Up to 350 of those codes, $10 off. Again, you can purchase any one of those top 5, upgrade, all 34. We pulled some stats. I just pulled some stats the other day. Like, how well are you using this discount? Like, what are people buying? 80% of you are buying top 5, 15% all 34, and just 5% upgrades. One of the biggest points of feedback that we got through everything that we did, including the learning series last year when we talked about this, was discounts on all 34. And so we listened and we changed that for you. And then I don't think it's getting utilized as well as it could. So don't forget, you can get they're normally 50. You can get those for 40 if you use your discount. If you haven't done that yet, get out there and get that done. It's available for you. By the way, those make great gifts. You can buy those and give those. Once you've purchased the codes, you can give those to people at the price. You can give it to them at the price that it's the retail price, if you want to do it that way. So those are available for you as well. We mentioned the monthly Certified Coaches newsletter comes out every single month. We delayed it this month because of the learning series. We had a lot of stuff we wanted to get to you after the learning series. So that will actually be coming out next week. If you're not getting that, let us know. Certification@gallup.com. That's one of those really, really important things that we do. We communicate a lot of information in there. It's long, it's full, it's chocked full of stuff. And so if you're not getting the newsletter or you're not reading the newsletter, make sure one of the tricks to this, some spam has gotten really bad, right? Email is kind of broken. but it's our best way of getting things to you. So make sure if you have a very aggressive spam filter, or your organization does, make sure you whitelist us when you get that in there. I mean, go in there and say, no, it's okay if I get email from them. That way you make sure you're getting it. I also post that newsletter. For whatever reason you don't get it, I also post that newsletter in our Facebook group. So you can head out there. There's a file section that's available to you. You can click on that. A lot of the things we do, like we just put together a brand new theme frequency, right? For all countries that have 1,000 or more completes. It's all in one PDF. You can get all the data you want. You guys love that data. Like, that is the most requested bit of data that I get every single year. Available for you now in one PDF, and you can get all those countries. It's available in the Facebook group. If you have problems, you're not on Facebook, those kinds of things, again, send us an email. We'll send it out to you. That way, we know not everybody wants to be on Facebook. A couple things coming up here in the future as we think about the future of the Coaches blog. It will change this year. And so if you go to coaching.gallup.com, where you really should have that bookmarked in some way, there's a resources tab on that site that has just everything we do. In fact, 99% of the answers I give to you when you ask questions, I've gone to coaching.gallup.com/resources, and I've just copied it and sent it to you. So you could do that too, and you could leave the middleman out if you want to do it that way. So get out there. Coaching.gallup.com is the site. The blog pieces will start moving here towards the end of the year onto Gallup.com. So we are beginning to consolidate. One of the things we hear from you is there's too many sites, and we understand that as well. We started coaching.gallup.com as kind of a startup thing 5 years ago. And it was kind of rogue, and right, Micah, we were doing some crazy stuff with it. Well, we do 50 to 60,000 views on those blogs now every single month. And so it's become an important part of the communication process through the coaching community. Many of you have written for us. You've written blogs for us. If you want to write a blog, if you got something you want to say and you want to write a blog, send us an email. That'll actually go to Micah. Guess what address? coaching@gallup.com. Put guest blogger in the subject line. We'll take care of you that way. But we'll be moving much of that content onto Gallup.com as we're going forward. There's some tools right now to help you search Called to Coach and Theme Thursday. I'll be honest, we don't exactly know where there's going to go yet. So as we build this out, we'll be making some changes. I just want to give you plenty of warning. I know as coaches, you don't like it when we change things on you and we don't tell you. And so those changes are coming with the Coaches blog. We will telegraph everything that we do and make sure either through the newsletter or through the Facebook groups or on the webcasts. Micah and I have committed to an every other month resources update. So what we heard from you is, hey, we want to know more about the nuts and bolts of what's going on. Dean's series, by the way, if you're not subscribed in some way to Dean's series that he does, the best teaching we do all the time is available as Dean comes on Called to Coach. You're missing learning series style or learning series quality updates all the time when we have Dean on and some of our other great guests. So make sure you're getting subscribed to Called to Coach. Mike and I, of course, doing Theme Thursday. That's available for you. We heard from you. Many of you are like, what about Strengths Explorer? What does that mean? So guess what? We're doing a series for you this spring on Strengths Explorer. Go through all 10 of those themes and how you can use them. So those are available for you out there as well. Want to remind you also the YouTube channel, you're on it right now, right below in the let's see, hold on. Let me get there, right down there. If you look down there, there's a little button that says subscribe. Just click that right now. Just click it. And then next to it's a little bell. Click that one as well. Now, every time we release a video on this channel, you're going to get a little notification from us. So you'll always know what's new. Like you don't have to think about it. It'll just pop up. You get a notification. Get that done now. That's another way to subscribe to us. Many of you think you have to watch the videos. No, we make these available as audio podcasts that are available for you. If you have an iPhone, many of you do, there's a little purple app on your phone. It's called Podcasts. If you open that up and search for any of the things we're talking about, Gallup Webcasts would be the easiest thing to search. Search for it there. You'll see what we're talking about. Called to Coach Theme Thursday. Subscribe. Make sure you'll get those automatically whenever we update them, right? It's just like savings. If you don't do it automatically, it doesn't happen. And so put these things in automatic. If you're on Android, they now have Google Podcasts that's available for you. Brand new, just came out a couple months ago. You can do it that way. Android also has a whole variety of podcast listening apps you can use as well. Just search in the one you're currently using. Recapture, we say this all the time, recapture that time on a plane, in a train, in a car, when you're traveling, walking the dogs, doing the dishes, whatever you're doing. Get subscribed to that. Put us in your ears, and you can capture that time as professional development. Brand new this year as well, as you can follow. If you want to catch us live, and many of you do, you're out here doing it right now. It's super fun to have you out here. But you're like, Jim, I can never figure out when you're live. Well, guess what? You can now follow us on Eventbrite. So if you go to gallup.eventbrite.com and click the follow button, every time Rosie or myself update Eventbrite with a new event, you get a notification. It didn't exist before. It exists now, and we'd love to have you do that. That way you know, and you can come out live. But by the way, that Eventbrite event has a file you can use to save it to your Outlook calendar, or save it to your Google Calendar, or save it to any calendar. Put it on there. I don't know about you. I sign up for these events all the time, then I forget. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to go. Make sure it's on your calendar so that you join us. We'd love to have you out there. Micah, I think when we do Theme Thursday, 60, 65, join us. It's super fun every week, right?
It is. One thing that I've loved about this week is just the sense of community and realizing that there's other people fighting the good fight out there with you. And if you've ever joined a live Theme Thursday, you'll know that you get that same sort of feeling. We also last year started doing a live post show, which is essentially just a peek into what Jim and Micah say when it's not being recorded, which I think a lot of our greatest content has come from really leaving that as a dedicated space to answer a lot of your questions that come up in the chat. Speaking of, we're about ready to save some valuable time today for questions from the chat. So go ahead and tag me right now of anything you'd like me to ask our panel here. Jim, I don't feel like you were done with your thought, though, so I'm going to toss it back to you.
One more thing, and I've mentioned these, but just do not forget these email addresses. We've tried to make them super simple for you. So certification questions, just go to certification@gallup.com. If you have any questions about anything in the community, training, summit, although, Abby, you have your own email address, right? CliftonStrengthSummit@gallup.com.
Yes. If you have anything for Summit, CliftonStrengthSummit@gallup.com.
Coaching@gallup.com gets you anything in the community. And then many of you, if you're not on our coaches directory or you want to change that information, coaches directory@gallup.com. And you're like, slow down, professor, you're going too fast. Okay, we recorded all of it for you. You can actually listen to this on replay, or as soon as we're done, go back to this point, and all those are available. Angela Davenport, who really, the success of this learning series, like this guide, all Angela, right? She really, she wrangles us, makes sure we get the information that's there. Angela, thank you for all the work that you've done, including on the back page. We're going to do a brand new series on Call to Coach this year called Research for Coaches. And we're not going to make it very difficult. And all the research we do, Dr. Jim Harder is going to come on and talk. Dr. Mike McDonald is going to come back and talk. We have Adam Hickman coming to talk about the comparison blogs. All that information available for you, including the links to the reports. This happens because Angela did it. So, Angela, thank you for your work. The guide is amazing again, and thanks for all that you've done. We've got about 7 minutes left for some questions. I'll pass it back to you, Micah, for those.
There's been a couple questions about details of coaches discount, and I have analytical number 34. I'm not going to use this as an excuse, but I will tell you that every time one of those specific number questions pops up, my brain melts a little bit. So my question for this is, where is this written down, or where's the best place to go to really dive into the details of those discounts? So
November and December coaches newsletter laid out. It's actually very, very simple. First 350 codes, $10 off. Top 5, upgrade, all 34, any combination, no minimums. It's really not that difficult. We had all these weird 250 and 350 and 50% weird stuff. That's all gone. $10 off, any of those three, buy them in the store, no minimum purchase.
Thank you. Angela is in the chat right now and has done a really good job answering a lot of the questions that have been coming up. So I'm just going to see what else is still outstanding there. There's been actually quite a bit of interest in teams, and I would say teams in general is a pretty hot topic. Abby or Dean, can either of you give us a little bit more on how we might help the topic of teams at the summit?
Yes.
Abby, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. So we actually have, we took a whole segment and made sure we had a minimum where you could attend a team session throughout an entire track of the summit. So we have I'm going to pull up my list here. We have a minimum of 6 sessions, so you could attend for each one of your breakout a session around teams. And let me go through the session names and kind of talk about it a little bit. So I talked to you guys earlier and told you about the going off the grid, leading team sessions beyond the teams diagram. We also have coaching teams for performance, and Mike McDonald is one of the leaders on that. So how you can coach your teams and link the performance metrics to it. We have action planning tools to use with your teams. We have bringing the tools to life using your Gallup coaching kit as a part of the team track. We also have the learning strategies for teams and for teams. So those are just a few of the sessions, but we did make sure one of the things we made sure is that you could attend a team session throughout through the whole track of your summit breakouts, just because that is our most requested content.
That's great.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it definitely helped. Yeah. Looks like there's other questions here a little bit around recertification. If you're worried about that at all, you can always check on your status by sending an email to certification@gallup.com. We do reach out to you 90 days in advance of your deadline. So it's not something that you need to worry a whole lot about. We hold your hand throughout the process. Other than that, there's just a whole lot more praise and excitement. A lot of folks are saying they just love this. Debbie has asked 3 times now, so I'll give you this one, Debbie. Can I ask the team? Okay. Dean, in your session, will you ever cover something about teams versus unrelated groups of people? She says sometimes HR departments just send a whole group of people. So how do we talk to groups about people who might not be, and putting words, in her mouth over,
So one of the things, so in my breakout session, the breakout session on designing strengths trainings at the summit, one of the things we'll talk about is how do you work with an intact team inside of a strengths training? How do you work with a team of individuals,
Mm-hmm.
And it is different, right? But neither is complicated. So, but we'll talk about how do you make those kind of adjustments to make sure that you're thinking about it in the right way.
Okay. We did cover that some last night as well in the session,
Right.
Session 7. And so actually we spent more time talking about the dynamics of team session than we did the all 34 part. They did a nice job of covering that at the end. But for folks who have questions and you haven't listened to Session 7, Jillian kind of gives a clinic with Therese, kind of a clinic on teams. So if you haven't caught that yet, make sure you have your pen is ready and it's got plenty of ink.
Fantastic. That's a great way, I think, to describe what this entire week has been. It's been a fantastic opportunity just to really pour into our community of coaches who are out there doing the hard work. Anybody have anything else to add before I close?
No.
Hope to see you all in Omaha in June.
Excellent. I'm not sure if we said this one out loud. I know we said it in the chat, but if you are registering for the summit, there is a link in your participant guide from this week that we'd love you to use to register for that summit. Of course, in closing, don't forget about those ICF credits. Watch for the event evaluation that should be coming in your inbox today. I know we've told you about a billion things that you should think about that's related to email. This is the first one for you to worry about. Watch for that evaluation. And that's where we will ask you to indicate which sessions of this week's learning series you attended, whether you attended live or a recording. And then you'll be issued a completion email with your corresponding ICF credits through that event evaluation form. If you are watching this today recorded, please contact us at ceu@gallup.com to request that professional credit hours for the sessions that you completed. Before we close, I want to give a special thank you to Jim Collison, our learning series producer. We really couldn't deliver this week without his leadership. Thank you, Jim, on behalf of all of our network of coaches and all of us internally here who, more than I think we would even like to admit sometimes, rely on you to make the world keep spinning. So thank you. A special thanks for all the behind the scenes production team. There is people literally running around right now making all of this possible, and we appreciate all of you. Angela Davenport is the wizard behind the curtain who, as Jim mentioned, wrangles all of these great experts and really brings you a dream team in a way that is relevant for you, that makes the most of your professional investment, and really chases to make sure that we are staying within those guidelines of ICF. our certified coaches. This took your participation, your investment, your time. You are doing that hard and important work of helping people understand their whole talent. And we are so appreciative of the continuing investment that you make in bettering your own best on the art and science of coaching. We hope you've enjoyed this week. We hope you've enjoyed taking a moment to really dedicate yourself to ongoing development as a professional. And we appreciate your partnership in this global mission to help individuals around the world truly understand and put their best selves out there. Thanks so much for joining today. And thank you for being a part of the Gallup coaching community.